Alright, hello guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at my nerf wish list. What is my nerf wish list, you may ask? This is pretty much all the blasters I want left. This is everything that I will ever want that's left. Eventually, when new stuff comes out, I'll probably add some stuff, but when this list is gone, my collection will end. I have plenty of blasters, so this is just what I have left. There are 46 blasters on this list, so, well, let's might as well just get started. At the very bottom will be the Blue Maverick. I have owned a Blue Maverick, but the issue is, in my earlier modding days, one of my main things to take parts from were Mavericks, because their handles are great, the cylinders you can make shotguns out of, its springs were useful, so I did have a Blue Maverick, but I took it apart, so now I need to find another one. I just haven't. At 45 is a Menace skin. I don't know what this skin is called, but I just really like it. I like the eye, and I just want the Menace. I collect Menaces, and there's only a few I want left, so this is one of them. 44, you guessed it, another Maverick. This one's a clear Maverick. I have never gotten my hands on a clear Maverick, but I would like to get one, especially one that's not gross looking. I would like it to actually just look nice and clear, not sun bleached. So that's 44. 43, there you go, another Menace. I really like the color pink, and I really like how this one kind of comes together with this kind of weird detail. I forget what this kind of paint is called. But yeah, this is another Menace I'm after. And this is the final Menace on this list. Like I said, I like pink. This thing is almost completely pink. I could care less about the logo thing. I forget what that's from. I don't care. It's just pink, and I want it. Now, yeah, another Maverick. This one's the white out Maverick, which I think is really cool. I just want it. Everything is so everything on this list is ranked in order of what I want, but everything on this list I do want more than any other blaster right now. So even though these things are really high, I still really want these things. So the white Maverick is just awesome. I like how it comes together. I like its cool details. And yeah. And then the final Maverick I don't have is the orange one. I just really like the orange one. I like the stripes on it. And yeah, that will complete my Maverick collection. That's why I'm after these specifically. At 39 is a Fortnite blaster, which this is the only picture I can really... There's only pictures on this thing. I've never been able to actually find this thing. I don't think it's released yet, or if it will ever release. It is the Peely Jolt, but half of it is, well, a skeleton. And I think that's cool. I like how the brain is in his ass. So, yeah, that's why I want this one. I do have a Peely Jolt. I just want the Peely Bone Jolt. 38. This one's a very weird one because the AirTech 1000 I can get whenever I want. The reason I want the AirTech 1000 is because this was the first blaster I ever had when I was a kid. I had it and I broke it. How you prime it is crappy, its trigger is crappy. I just want one in the box. I want one to put on my wall to remember where it all started. I had a chance to buy one in box for 40 bucks, and I didn't, and I regret it. So if I ever see one for a good price again, I'm going to buy it. 37 is the Supermax 1500. The reason why I want this guy is I had one, and I blew its tank, and its tank is very powerful. It's very small, but very powerful. This thing hit really hard when I modified it, so I just want to get another one and modify it again. That's pretty much it. I like air blasters. 36 is a weird one, the Nerf Alpha Hawk. I had this when I was younger. I still have its shell. I put a Titan tank in its shell. So, I still have it, but I kind of want a base one again. I really like the design and the comfortability of this blaster. And 5 rounds is not bad. Like, this could be a fun plinker with, like, a stock war. I think this would be awesome to have again. 35 is the whatever. This is just a soda can blaster. Beret made a video on it, and it's very interesting. I just want one. It seems cool. It's a can that shoots darts. What more could you want? What more could you ask for, really? This is the Nerf Triple Torch. The Triple Torch is a really old blaster which fired 3 different types of rounds, and this is technically the original Jolt, the very first Jolt. And it's cool. I like its little button as a trigger thing, and I just want one. I want one to just have in my collection. I think it's cool. It's the first Jolt, why would I not? And it fires 3 different types of ammo. It's awesome. Alright, now we got the Supermax 1000. I really love the Supermax line, so there's a lot of Supermax gun blasters still on this list. The Supermax 1000, I'm not sure what I could do with it. I mean, worst comes to worst, I'll just make it a one-shot. But I really want to try and use its cylinders to make a powerful, like, 6 or 8 round cylinder blaster. I'm not sure how much this thing holds. And I kind of like the colors of this one. I like its kind of deep red thing on the back. That's where the tank is sitting inside that, but that doesn't really do anything. So I'm not sure what to call that. But I like the deep red. I like the yellow. I just like this thing. And yet again, the Supermax 1500 again, but this is the other version. The same reason I want the other version is for this one. I can mod it. I can make it really powerful. I never owned this version, but I think this one would be more comfortable than the other handle, because the other handle had issues. This one I see, and I think it could be a little bit more comfy, and that's why I want this one a little bit more than the other Supermax 1500. 31 is a very weird one. Overwatch. I'm not a big player of Overwatch. I have played. I always loved Tracer. Tracer's my favorite character. I try to play as her. I'm still not great as her. And this blaster is awesome. It's almost an exact replica of Tracer's blaster. It holds 3 rounds. It's a rival blaster. It's awesome. It's just insanely expensive. The only time I've seen this thing ever sold was for $120 on eBay, and that's crazy. So one day I will own the Tracer blaster, but no reason yet. It's way too expensive right now. Maybe in the future, when this is like this will probably be like one of the last few blasters on this list in like when this thing's finally done with. I will probably make another video in a few years to see how many are left on this list, just to let you know. Number 30 is the Villainator. Sorry, I had to make sure I said that right. The Villainator, I do own it. I modded it, and it just became way worse. So I have a cylinder for it. So if I just buy a new Villainator and do nothing with it, I'll just have a Villainator with 2 cylinders. And that would be cool. That's the only reason. And the Villainator kind of disappeared, to be honest. It's not around anymore, which is weird. For me, anyways. I don't see it anywhere anymore. This one is another very weird one. The Nerf Imperial Death Trooper. This one or the green one, I don't care. I just think this thing is rad, because my friend had one. He let me use it. It's 3 shots. It's pump action. You can put a stock on it. You can put a scope on it. It's just insanely fun, and that's why I want it. It was cool. The sounds are cool. This is my favorite Star Wars blaster by far. All the rest of them can't even compare to this guy, in my opinion. Well, the rival one's pretty good. The rival ones, I'll give them something. The rival ones are pretty nice, but I do like this one more. It's just awesome. Either one, red or green. I just want one of them eventually. I think they're still a little bit too expensive for me because I would be willing to pay like 15 to 20 bucks. This thing usually sits around 30 for some reason. Don't know why. Probably because it's Star Wars. And this is the only Star Wars blaster on this list. 28 is the Rev Reaper. Another blaster. I tried to not modify, but I tried to combine it with another blaster. It did not go well, and I was sad at the time for some stupid reason because it was my fault for breaking it. And this thing's awesome. Like, I understand it doesn't have a trigger, but if you guys care about that, you guys are dumb. This thing does not need a trigger. You just pull the handle and it fires. Pull it as hard as you can. It'll fire as hard as, well, the thing can shoot. And this thing's fun. You just pull it and it fires. This is a handle pull thing and it's awesome. I love this thing. I want a new one. To be honest, they're not overpriced. I just haven't felt like getting one yet. I will get one like eventually again. The top mag thing is a bit weird, but I don't mind it. For Zombie Strike, it makes a lot of sense. And here we go again. Supermax 750. I already own one of these. I own the remake of it. And I did own a normal Supermax. But again, I blew its tank. I want to get a new one. And yeah, I really like this one. This one's probably the best pistol in Supermax. This thing can fire Mega XLs really hard. And I would just like to get another one again. And they're reasonably priced. They're not that expensive. And I just haven't felt like getting one yet again. See, I've popped a lot of my tanks. A few of my tanks, not a lot of them. But that just helps me learn. So now I know the maximum pressure you can put in these tanks before they blow. 26 is the Ghoul Grinder. The Ghoul Grinder, people hate. I understand. But this is an awesome Zombie Strike blaster. I don't care what you say. The giant grinder on the front. The oversized kind of rotating drum. No, not drum. What is that? Would that be a harmonica clip maybe? No, I'm not sure what it is. But giant oversized thing for only like 8 or 10 darts. I understand this is the cheapest. This thing's getting cheap because it's how Zombie Strike was. And like a lot of plastic's missing, the paint's missing. But I just like it. I really do. The prime is a bit crappy because you can't see. It's on the other side of the blaster and it's just a handle that's only on one side. So I can understand why people hate this thing. But I feel like I could make this a shotgun prime and make this thing awesome and make this thing just a lot of fun to use. And that's what Zombie Strike is. You don't need to hate on everything in Zombie Strike. This one is pretty good, and pretty soon I will pick this one up, actually. Number 25, the Zing Ring. Really, any Zing Ring will do. I just want this thing because it fires a massive ring. What else is there to say? Massive ring. I want it. It's awesome. That's it. 24 is a Nerf Ultra 2. Nerf Ultra 2 is a backloading 6-round electric blaster. And I want one of these because it's interesting. And a big part why I want it is to put it in the 100 Dart Challenge. So maybe one day I'll get one and we'll put it in the 100 Dart Challenge. For me, I still think it's too expensive right now. They're not that expensive, but to be honest, I don't want to pay more than 15 bucks for this thing. Those are some of my issues with some of these blasters on the list. I just think they're too expensive. 15 bucks is cheap for this thing, I understand, but that's just where I sit on it. And one day I will get the Ultra 2. It's an awesome thing. The backloading is cool, but that's about all I have to say about it. I'm not a big fan of electric blasters. That's my issue with stuff like this. 23 is the rival Pathfinder. Pathfinder is probably the best Springer blaster, you could say. Well, no. because the Chronos. I would say it's up there with the best Springer blasters in Rival. There's not a lot of them. There's this and the Chronos, I believe. I think those are the best Springers in Rival, pretty much. This guy I'm actually going to pick up pretty soon, and this guy will be in the 100 Dart Challenge eventually. But yeah, this thing's just awesome. I like how it looks. I like how the mag is bent, even though that's not how the mags work. They're straight. They had to bend the actual part to put the mag in so it would work like that. And it's pump action. I'm pretty sure this is the only pump action blaster in Rival. Yeah, I think so. No, no, sorry. Yeah, there's the other ones. But I think this one's still the best. This one's better than the shotgun ones. I just want this thing. It's cool. The sights are definitely a bit overboard, but I don't mind too much. Handle looks amazing. Like, this looks like a very comfortable handle. Oh, that did not work. Alright, 22 is the Twin Shock. For a very, very long time, since I've been a kid, I've always wanted the Twin Shock. The thing is, I just never picked one up. Like, it was always too expensive when it was in stores, and then Toys R Us went away, and that was it. They're around 30 bucks still. I think 30 bucks is perfectly fine for this blaster. I, myself, has just never picked one up yet, which is weird. Eventually I will pick one up. Definitely I would love this thing to be in the 100 Dart Challenge. I think my reasoning is because it's a big blaster, and I just don't have that much room anymore to store big blasters, so that's why it sits 22. 21, I don't think a lot of you even know what this thing is. The nerf's the Nerf Cyclonic, I think that's its name. It's a ball blaster that uses a what would you call that? A kind of handle that rotates, and when it goes around a full rotation, it fires a ball, and that seems awesome to me because I like using the old ballistic balls. I saw this one at One War with this really weird guy that is just an awesome guy. I love him. He brings weird stuff. He still uses Boomco, and he brought this thing. I was like, that thing's awesome. I want it. I want that thing. So yeah, I just want a complete one. That's all I want. I've never found one with its tube thing, tube magazine technically, and with actual handle. Sometimes the handles are just gone, which sucks. I really want to get a complete one. To be honest, I'm probably willing to pay up to 40 to 60 bucks for one of these intact, like fully intact. Hopefully, if I'm paying that, I get some balls. So that's this guy. It's awesome. Its stock is probably amazingly comfy because it just sits into your arm. This is probably the most comfy blaster on this list. Probably, actually. Number 20 is the Dart Zone Pro 2 Mark whatever 2.1. My issues with this thing is it's very big, and the Mark II had a lot of jamming issues, and this thing is, I just don't want to pay 100 bucks for this thing. I don't want to pay that much, in my opinion. I just don't think it's worth it. My big thing with this thing is it holds magazines, and that's awesome. Eventually I will pick one of these guys up, but 100 bucks is just not for me. Not right now. But yeah, it's pretty much a pistol that's bigger than the Mark II, but it holds magazines. So, it has its ups and downs. 19 is a Trailblazer. Trailblazer is a hammer shot that holds 8 rounds. Its handle is surprisingly very skinny for some reason. You can't really tell in this box, but it's very skinny. This thing's very easy to load too. And I love the color. I love the dark blue with the light blue. And yeah, it's just a hammer shot that holds 8. And it's way too expensive right now. Don't know why. Just would not pay that much. I think it's like around 30, and I'm fine paying 20, but not more than 20 really. Then probably one of the newest ones on this list is the Dart Zone Pro Solo. This thing has had a lot of weird things happening with, well, I understand why it's been out of stock, but like going from its $15 down to 11, going up to 17 in like a month is crazy. Its prices are just all over the place. As long as this thing's under 20, I'm willing to buy it, really. And pretty much what it is it's just a very powerful jolt that you can it can fold up, and you can crack its barrel open and load it. It's very interesting. I like it. I want one. But yeah, I'm not good at explaining this stuff if you can't tell. Number 17 is the Busby Blazooka. This thing is well known. This thing is nowhere anymore. I can't even find one. And its tank is insane. I just want its tank. Why I want like all these air blasters is because I have like my top 10 most strongest blasters, and I always like to get something up there because I always like testing the boundaries of nerf and seeing how strong blasters can actually get. My top 10 strongest blasters, I really don't fire at people. They're just to see how far a dart can, what kind of speed a dart can get. That's why I want these air blasters. And this one is well known. It's powerful. I want one. Like, I just want this thing with a giant brass barrel at the front of it and firing it. I want to see how much power I can get out of this thing. But yeah, it's just an air blaster. You pump it up, you load a rocket, press the button, it shoots. That's it. Number 16 might be a weird one for some. The Dart Zone, that says bro, but it's supposed to say pro 4, Mark 4. I was deciding between this one or the Swift to be on my list, but I think I would rather like this one because the Swift has some issues. This one has a few less issues, and I can pretty much use Swift parts in this one. And I like the looks of both of them a lot. I just would rather have this one, it seems. I really like its pump handle thing, and this thing, the scale is just not the scale. Like, this thing is a huge blaster. Like, the 2 barrel attachments are a bit weird, but I could always fix that. But yeah, it's just a very powerful Dart Zone Pro, pretty much. Number 15 is the Big Salvo. I think I could do some very interesting things with the Big Salvo. Like, I was thinking, like, each of those things where the rockets go, I could put a like a Maverick cylinder, so this thing would fire bursts of 6 rounds if I can do that, because this thing has a lot of power. And if that doesn't work, I can always make this thing one shot, make all the tanks go to one shot. But I think this could be a really cool shotgun, and I would definitely use this at wars, so that's why this guy's 15th. 14th is the Tryon. It's just a very, very nice blaster. Like I said, I like the light blue. This was, I think, the first one we saw where you could take a mag out even though it's primed and all that because it has a skinny pusher. And it's just a really cool looking blaster. And for $80, I think it's worth it. I'll pick one up eventually. But right now, I'm okay. But eventually I will get one. Like I said, it's just another powerful Dart Zone Pro type thing. But it's not Dart Zone Pro. Number 13 is the Red Long Shot. And you guys might be asking, why isn't that like your number 1? Well, the Red Long Shot I do want, but this is a blaster that will probably be the end of my collection. This will probably be the last thing I will ever pick up if I can ever get one. The Red Long Shot is a holy grail of nerf, and this will probably be the last thing I'll ever pick up. And just to even get my hands on this thing, I'm probably paying upwards of $500. You may ask, why is this one so expensive? Why not just get a long shot? It's because the red one is very rare. and to get a complete red long shot is just very rare, to be honest. This is a holy grail of Nerf. That's why I want one. No other reason. And yes, I will probably mod it. Number 12 is the Sentinel. Like, do I have to say anything else? The Sentinel is the best lever action blaster ever. You can put a big spring load in it. It's just awesome. I would love to get one. I have seen one. Bray let me use his. Well, not use, but fire it a little. His is stock though. And yeah, it's just an awesome blaster, and I want one. The prices are insane for this thing, but eventually I will give and pay the $70 to get a Sentinel when you can actually find one. This thing, you just can't find anymore. Number 11 is the Ultra Pharaoh. The reason why I want the Ultra Pharaoh is I want to put the half dart kit in it to make it shoot half darts, because this thing's cool. My one issue is the damn scope that's not removable. Like, Nerf, what are you doing? The scope's not even useful. It's just plastic all the way through. There's not even a cool little, clear plastic scope in it. It's just all plastic. That's my one issue, but the rest of the shell is awesome. The prime is pretty long, and that's also cool. I just really like the look of this one. And this thing's very expensive too now, for some reason. But I don't mind. I could pay $60 for this thing. I just want to make it a half dart kit. Put the half dart kit in it and make it have half darts hitting 150, and it would probably be one of my new mains. Number 10 is the Nerf Pro Strife X. This thing's awesome and has a rechargeable battery. That's the reason I want it. Rechargeable battery, very easy. It's just a Strife that hits very hard. What more do you want? The price for it is pretty high, but it's Nerf. I can understand. Eventually I will give. Right now, I think 120 is a little much for this guy. Or maybe, actually it's probably about right, but I'm just stubborn. Number 9 is the white long shot. I do want the white long shot more than it's long strike, sorry. I want the white long strike more than the red long shot right now, because this thing's cool. I would love to put that weird metal kit in it and get this thing hitting upwards of, I think 90s, but this thing would be awesome to take the field with. Yes, I will mod it. I don't care how it's rare or anything like that. I mod anything I get my hands on. I love modding. Rarity doesn't matter. Well, yes, it does. I will still keep this thing in very good condition. I'll just use it. You don't cage a beast. You let it roam. You let it free. Give it what it deserves. Alright, number 8 is the Buzz Bee Big Blast. Like I said, big tank in it. Like its design. And I'll make this a one-shot, insanely powerful blaster. That's all I want. Get another blaster in the top 10. Probably also make this a missile launcher, or maybe even a shotgun. I'm not sure, but I want one. That's all I know. Number 7 is the Marzuka, the marshmallow blaster that has a electric pump in it. So when you fire, it automatically pumps its tank back up, and that's insane. My big issue with this thing is insanely priced. I have never seen one less than $300 before, or $200. It's crazy, but I still want one. Like I said, I can make this thing a beast, and this would probably be a really cool Mega XL blaster. And it's just an electric air tank blaster. And there's not really that type of thing exists, really. This is a very cool one. Number 6 is the Jupiter. It's a rival blaster, holds 8 rounds. I love how it looks, and it's a what is that? It's a bolt prime. Bolt primes are awesome. I mean, people understand. That's why this thing is over $100 now. Eventually, I will buy one for $100. Yeah, that Bolt Prime is just awesome. That's why I want this thing. That's why it's number 6, the Bolt Prime. Nothing more to say. Number 5 is the Ultimator. I want the Ultimator because it actually has recoil, because it uses a tension spring, which is very weird, but very cool, and I want to see what I can do with this thing if it fires one round. I want to see this thing fire one round. I've seen the, Volcom's video on this thing a long time ago. Big thing that fires one round. This thing is just awesome. Like, you want power, it doesn't get more powerful than this thing. Its sheer force will rock you. And that's why I want this thing. This thing's cool. And it's awesome. It's a spring-powered rocket launcher. That's will never be done. Ever again. So I want it. Number 4 is the Nerf Worker Seagull. This is probably the peak of Springer blasters. Just the look, the feel is awesome. Like 150 Wars would be awesome with this thing. It's just a beautiful looking blaster. Number 3 is a Nerf Sledgefire. I have owned 2 Sledgefires, and yes, don't be angry. I have broken them both because I'm stupid and I was like 10. I still have the shells, I just don't have it anymore. It's not that expensive. They're like 30 to 40 bucks. I'll pick one up eventually. Why I want one is because I want to make a musket out of it. A one-shot musket that hits around 140s would be awesome. And that would probably become my new best main when I finally get this thing. And we'll probably replace Junk Chucker. You don't know Junk Chucker, look at my Warwall video. But yeah, this guy, just an awesome blaster. Nothing more to say. Number 2 is the Harrier. Like I said, same as Seagull, but bigger, more powerful. Pinnacle. It's awesome. There's nothing more to say. I just want one. Power it comes with is insane. It's kind of weird how it comes with a bolt that you can put on a Shotgun Prime blaster. It's kind of very, very weird, but you can always take it off and put on the normal grip. I will definitely buy a shotgun grip to put on it. I don't really like these type of grips. And number 1, it's very weird to have this one number 1, but I just want one because I'm not a mag kind of guy. I like using a main until it runs out, or I carry just loose darts on me and reload. That's why I use muskets most of the time. But the Super Drum is a 50 round, like 160 hitting blaster. It has its issues, but this thing is just awesome. I don't know where it is. I can't find it anymore. Like it's probably still in stores, but like eBay, not eBay. Amazon, like it's gone. Like I think you can pay $107 on Amazon still for one. That's way too much for it. But yeah, 50 round drum. Nothing more you need, really. This thing would be an awesome blaster to have. And with that, guys, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.